Now to an uplifting tale of self-discovery. We recently got a chance to sit down with Melissa Gilbert, the New York Times bestselling author, and of course the iconic star of Little House on the Prairie. She stopped by to talk about her new memoir, Back to the Prairie. Check it out.
We were saying, how is this possible? She was saying that all she had to do was walk down the hallway and hear your voice. After all these years, your voice sounds exactly the same.
It is. It's just that little, I don't know. I guess it's the one part of me that hasn't aged. The rest of me is complete. It's just melting around the voice.
I heard your voice and I said, that's Half Pint. I knew it. And I looked up and there was Melissa Gilbert.
Yep. It gives me away too. People, I try to be incognito as much as possible, but sometimes I'll talk and people will go, would you take your mask down for a second?
Yep, it's me.
What are the advantages and disadvantages to sounding exactly the same after all this?
Well, the advantages are that my voice is recognizable, which is great, and it brings back memories of Little House on the Prairie, which people love. The disadvantage is when people call our house and I answer the phone, they ask if mommy's home. And it kills me because I'm grandma now too, and I still sound like a 5-year-old.
Never change. I love it. It's amazing.
Now the book here. Now tell me the title first. Why the title? What are we doing? We're going back to the Prairie. Back
to the Prairie. Home remade, a life rediscovered. I wish I could take responsibility 100% for the title, but it sort of evolved. What happened was Tim Busfield, my husband, and I were living here in New York City. We had lived in Michigan for 5 years. I had escaped from Los Angeles. I decided that I wanted to age, and I needed to leave there to do it. I know, it's a radical thought, right? Wanting to age. Who does that? And we moved here for work, and we knew we needed a place with space. We wanted to be outdoors. We wanted to commune with nature. That's part of who we are. So we started looking for a place upstate, and we found the place we call the Cabbage, which is me conflating the words cabin and cottage, in Sullivan County. But the place we found was definitely not move-in ready. It was a tiny hunting cabin that had stood with no people in it for 20 some odd years, but crammed with all of their belongings. I mean, like, there were bottles of holy water in don't ask me why. I don't even want to know why.
You know we were going to ask you why.
No, I don't know why.
All right, we'll get serious now because it's been almost a year and a half now since you underwent what you've called was a life-altering surgery. It was your 4th spinal surgery. How are you doing now? How are you feeling now?
Thank you so much for asking. I feel it's miraculous how much better I feel. I was so lucky to be able to have the surgery when I did, and it was in November of 2020. So we were right in the middle of the Delta surge, and we were here, but my surgery was in Southern California, Newport Beach. And my husband was working on an ABC television series on For Life and couldn't come with me. So I had to fly cross country during the surge, pre-vaccines, have the surgery, and fly back. And the surgery, we weren't sure what it was going to be. The surgeon, Dr. Robert Bray, knew he had to take out all this hardware that had been in my neck that had failed. And he was either going to have to fuse it again, or if all went well, he was going to give me an artificial disc. And he said, if you wake up without a collar on, you'll know you got the disc. And I woke up and there was no collar on. And I mean, literally, the surgery was such a miracle. I didn't even do physical therapy after.
Oh my goodness.
He just said, just keep, he even said in post-op, because I wasn't looking, and I was looking at him with my eyes. He said, turn your head and look at me. I said, really? He said, oh yeah, we were moving your head all over the place when you were under, so please. Like, okay, great. And 4 days later, I got on a plane and flew home. I had to quarantine for a bit after that, and that was Thanksgiving. So I had this really incredibly, most thankful Thanksgiving by myself ever. It was glorious, and I have no pain. For the first time since the 90s, I have no pain.
Wow. What do you make of this journey? You talk about your husband, Tim. I think you say you all found each other later in life. The journey you've been on. Look, she used to write about you in her diary as a second-grade kid, you know. But
so
just
cute.
to have that kind of impact and to still be here having an impact on people. What do you make of this journey of yours?
I just think it's extraordinary. I feel so blessed all the time. But now I have the opportunity to share my stories, and you know, this book, what I wrote about was a lot of what happened during the early days of COVID and the lockdown and what we were all going through as a nation. And so sharing my experience with that and hoping, you know, to remind people that we made it through that, we can make it through whatever comes next, and hopefully maybe people can use this as a reminder to be a little kinder and gentler. And I think the one thing too that I walked away from all of that with is that there's a big difference between need and want. The things that we needed, I mean, when we're all scrambling for toilet paper, suddenly Manolo Blahniks have no meaning.
Right.
Right? And that's really sort of the way it should be, always.
And a big thank you to Melissa for joining us, and everyone. You can find Back to the Prairie wherever books are sold.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.